his mom wasn't a trad wife. She was more of a tard wife. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on the church. I'm going to get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling forever. Love that about you. Good to see you, Kellen. Thanks for coming by.
Good to be here.
The podcast called the Book Pile Podcast, and Kellen's on tour as well, doing shows all over this man's state and country. All through March, all through April. So you can go to Kellen, and then I will spell the last name just so you got it. ERSKINE.com for all the live shows.
That's it. Yeah. That's.
How's it going? You're playing a place in Pittsburgh called the Sunken Bus.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
It's a great name. Yeah.
I don't know what it means.
I don't either, but I like it when a comedy club doesn't try and be funny.
I'm with you. I'm with you. That's why my favorite rapper's named Common. It's like he's not, like Cedric the Entertainer's a little lofty,
Sure.
and then there's all like we the best and he the best and everything. And then there's Common.
Well, it's
he's
actually,
like, I let my work speak for me, but
Common Sense. That was his original
even that,
name.
It's like if I name myself Horse Sense, people go.
Right.
But what I'm saying is I don't like it. I don't like the black names where it means Queen of Nubia, you know what I mean? And she's working at McDonald's. Like, it's just straight name, and then we'll let your performance do the talking.
And we know what the venue is. Yeah, I love it when you can tell people had I have an idea for a comedy. People who have never worked in it before, and they're like, and we'll call it the Whoopee Cushion Banana Bum.
Right.
They don't. As if anyone has made a decision to go to a location because the name was so hilarious. Like, I was on the fence about it. But
Chuckle Hut sounds awesome to me.
But they don't realize how difficult it is for the comedian.
Oh, yeah.
Because then the comedian has to answer, like someone will go, you want to come by this weekend? They go, no, I'm going to be out of town. And then you go, where are you going to be? And you go, Magooby's joke.
It's the only reason I want to graduate to theaters is so I can just play something.
Theater's just, I'm at the Belmont.
Yeah,
they just give it a name.
Yeah.
They just give it a name.
For sure, the Bill Graham Civic Auditorium, like the manager in charge was never like, I think we need to rebrand it to something more slapstick.
Yes. It's almost like
it's the golden gaff.
The clubs are trying to shame you into theater. It's why I don't want junior college called community college. There's no shame in it.
Sure.
It sounds noble. I'm trying to shame you into a 4-year university by calling it junior college.
It's like the worst apartment complexes have the right idea when it comes to marketing. I installed basically water softeners for 15 years, and it was always places in the worst parts of town. Complex, 2 stories, no balconies, but the fake facades of the guardrails out front, and people's barbecues, leaning over on the grass, and it would be called like Cedar Heights.
Oh yeah, no, okay. I got thoughts. Yes. First things first. Somebody decided in 1961 that you had to christen apartment buildings like there were boats. I don't know why. You don't have to name your house. You don't name your house. Dawson, what's your house's name? No name? Get on it, bro. Because how do I know where I'm going? You know what I mean? Like, you don't.
Oh, yeah.
Now, once in a while.
Actually, my house does have a name.
I knew you'd say that, Dawson. Everyone knows you're just disagreeing with me. Your house doesn't have a name.
No, it does. It's called the No Oasis.
No Oasis?
Yeah, ask any of my friends. And it's in the territory of Los Angeles, California.
All right.
Just off the that was some expert point shitting right there, by the way. Go on.
Wait, that's near Dusseldorf?
Yeah, right around the corner.
Wait, where was your 2 places? Dusseldorf and
Lederhosen was
was what you'd wear?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's get back. Does this sound okay? My mic sound all right?
When you're closer to it, it does. But yeah, it's a little boomy right now.
Don't put it on me.
Well, it sounds awesome
I'm on
right
it.
now.
Okay.
I know. Here's the thing. That room sometimes is boomy. and I have to adjust other people's microphones.
Okay.
They're catching you. That's what you're
fine.
hearing.
It's a little different. All right.
We'll get there.
Here's what I'm saying. Yes, the apartment buildings in the San Fernando Valley, the shittiest part of the San Fernando Valley, have a name like Polynesian Paradise.
Sure.
Up front. But out front's just a bunch of Mexicans walking in a circle looking for a place to die. And shit, if there is a balcony, shit on the balcony. Boy, you can tell a lot about what's going on inside the unit by what's on the balcony. The saddest tableaus, the kids' toys.
Yeah.
Stuffed out on the balcony,
Sun-bleached.
just shit, the towel, beach towel hanging over the top. Like when you see a ton of shit on that balcony, that's a bad sign. But yes, we christen these apartments. And by the way, the really nice ones have names that are not nearly as grand as the shitty ones because they're overcompensating.
No, they're like coy about it. Yeah, it'll just be like the orange, street.
Oh, they'll name it after. You want to play the Will Turn Theater? I played the Will Turn Theater. Know where it got the name? It's on the corner of Wilshire and Western. Wilter. Easy.
Yeah.
They're not trying.
Right.
They just
Came up
want, what
with
should
it
we
in
name
5
the
minutes.
theater? Well, how about the Comedy Palace? How about we just, the street there? Just go after that with a Wilter.
And so comedy clubs need to get on board with it, and maybe a place, you said the Chuckle Hut could rebrand to something like Madison Square Garden, but there's like a silent E at the end of garden.
Yeah.
You could say I'm playing
just
the
like
garden.
a round garden or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just moved out of a chirping fire alarm garden.
Yeah, so you could be. So if someone said, well, I live in an apartment out in L.A., well, it's in Hawaiian Gardens and it's the Grand Polynesian. Like, you'd go, wow, did Elvis film movies there? Like, and then you'd show up and it'd be a shitbox. So you're right. We need good names or no names. I don't feel like you need to name your apartment. You have an address.
That's it. Yeah.
You look for the ad, like you tell the guy who's dropping off the Grubhub guy. You don't tell him the name of the place. You give him the address, right?
Yeah.
It's overcompensation.
So you're going to be at the Sunken Bus then.
Sunken Bus. Yeah, there we go. They're already playing it modest.
I want to know what the Sunken Bus looks like because what they're doing is they're giving. It better not be at a strip mall because I'm picturing something interesting.
Yeah, I don't know either. It looks on the outside like an old warehouse. I think it's run by comics, but I think it's comedy and marketing is so important. Have you heard of the Don't Tell shows?
Yeah, I think I've done one.
It's they're great shows, and but they play sometimes in places that would seem like a subpar venue, like the backyard of a hostel. I played one time in central LA, but the crowds that come out are so energized because the way it's marketed, it makes it feel like you're all in on this secret.
Yeah.
Right? Like no one else knows about the show except the 7,000 people on the email list.
But this looks like a Mormon church to me.
Is this the Sunken Bus?
I'm hoping it is.
There we go.
I played the Don't Ask, Don't Tell for a bunch of gay Marines in the 90s.
I remember that.
That was a different gig. Yes, got a vaulted ceiling.
Yeah.
All right, looks like a nice room.
Yeah,
Still don't know where it got the name.
I like that it's not themed to the name. Yeah.
All right, let me ask you guys a question. Somebody tweeted me a video of dogs fighting yesterday, and I just retweeted it, and it got a lot of traction, and a lot of people were weighing in with lots of opinions. We as a culture have tons of opinions on dogs, which is a weird thing. Our opinions on dogs should be limited.
Yeah.
But we have doggy daycare and sweater. I would say many folks who live in Los Angeles have spent much more on their dog's wardrobe than my parents spent on their children's wardrobe from zero to the time we left after high school. I would say it's a safe bet.
And dogs fucking hate clothes.
I know personally I spent more on two of my dogs than with the vet bills. One would just eat a brick of fudge in the middle of the night and go into a seizure and stuff like that. I spent way more on my dog than my parents spent on me or my sister. And if you go, oh, get the fuck out. No, it's easy. No braces, no college fund, no car, no transportation, no prom bids, no Letterman jacket. I mean, you're really just talking about Top Ramen at this point in Toughskins, right? Like, I spent way more on my dog.
Yeah.
Easily.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a whole, the aisle of food at Target. Have you ever been tricked where you look into, because they have now like refrigerated doors, and you look in and you get tricked by some ice cream that looks good, and then you see in the fine print there's pieces of dog.
There's dog treats in the next room that I almost helped myself to yesterday because I just picked up the package and was starting to reach in, thinking it was trail mix or something.
I don't know why they make it look appetizing.
Trail mix was for dogs?
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah. When trail mix tastes like giblets. That's your
beef
clue.
Jerky. It was delightful.
All right, so this is a restaurant, and it looks to be out on the patio. The patio looks enclosed or something, but they're out on the patio, and a melee breaks out with dogs. Mm-hmm. And I think a pit bull takes a lap dog. Here it is. I do like women who just scream and sort of exacerbate this. Oh my God, it's a pit bull that's got a little pup or lapdog in its jowls, and it's coming down, and everyone's just kicking the pit bull, and everyone's screaming.
Why is he not letting go?
And then there's always dumb chicks making stupid comments. What's going on? Why is he? What's happened with the dog?
Why isn't he more polite?
Yeah. I love the visceral, emotional commenters of life who just go, oh, what is happening? All right.
Well, I hate that we've bred dogs for 20,000 years to be things that they're not supposed to be, and then we're surprised when they're not friends.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Right. So people are like commenting, like, what is that pit bull doing? Or the person with that pit bull should have had a muzzle. And I was like, or people stop bringing their fucking dogs to restaurants. So is that an option?
Yeah.
Is there an option? How is it that I sailed through my entire life, nary a dog in a restaurant or an airplane or an airport or anywhere? Anywhere. There was no dogs. There was like one guy with a seeing eye dog. And listen, my thing with the seeing eye, look, if your dog doesn't have a handle on it, then it's out. If it's got 12 foot of leash, that's not your service dog can't be 14 feet in front of you.
Yeah.
You just got to be on a handle. The blind guys had a big handle on the dog, and they walked right next to the dog because the dog did something.
Yeah.
It's enough.
You shouldn't have to guess what service the animal provides.
Yes, and you're on your third mimosa, and the dog's licking its balls over by my table. I'm guessing it's not performing a big service in your life at this point.
Well, who else is going to eat all the little dogs?
Leave your fucking dogs at home. Just leave them the fuck at home. I get it. You like your dog. I like my dog. Everyone likes their dog. I love my dog.
Dog is a home thing.
I do not bring my dog on flights.
Sure.
I don't. Because I don't really need it. And there's other people on the plane. And that's the whole thing. You don't need your dog when you're eating. Look, we have dogs that come into work here on occasion, and that's fine. People enjoy them, and people have reasons why. Sometimes they can't, whoever's out and they got to walk their dog or whatever. It's fine. Bring your dog. That's fine. But also a couple things. There needs to be an agreement. Like, I'm bringing my dog to work, and then the boss goes, yeah, fine, bring your dog, and then who cares? Do not bring your fucking dog to the restaurant. Just don't do it. And by the way, people are talking about the pit bull.
Yeah.
Hey, bitch, don't bring your lapdog, and it won't get eaten by pit bull. Guess who else is trying to eat here? Human beings.
Yeah.
Pit bulls and human beings are trying to eat under the same roof. Just leave your fucking dog at home, narcissist assholes. And by the way, can we start judging and or enforcing?
Yeah.
The people who run the restaurant, just go get the fuck out of here with your dog. Or I'll tell you what, sit in the parking lot with your dog. We'll bring you the food.
Sure, have that. And that's what bothers me about comfort animals is there maybe 8% of everyone who uses it actually needs it, and the rest of them
No, it's 0%. It's zero. You don't need a comfort. Look, If you can't fly without your dog, then you have a serious mental condition, and it needs to be looked at by a professional. Your dog is not going to, whatever it is. There really is, we invented comfort dog. It doesn't exist. Sure. It's not a category it doesn't exist. It's like chronic fatigue syndrome. That's just for depressed people. You're fucking depressed. That's what it's called, depression. That's why you're fatigued chronically. If you fucking won the lottery, you wouldn't be too fatigued to celebrate.
I love it too when people have like 2 or 3 comfort animals, and it's like, how many do? So each of them only provides 33% comfort. It really is, just
have you met my comfort menagerie? I have a Noah's Ark of comfort. I'm backing it up to the restaurant. Morgan and Morgan. Well, there's a reason why. My opinions hit like a heavyweight punch. No fluff, no fill, just the truth. And that's why there's Morgan and Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, Morgan and Morgan has been fighting for the people, just like you and I. They have over 100 offices with more than 1,000 lawyers nationwide. If you're injured by the negligence of another, you deserve to be paid. That's where Morgan & Morgan comes in. When you hire the wrong law firm, well, you may be beat before you even start the fight. All law firms are not the same. And that's why I love Morgan & Morgan. Am I right, Dawson?
If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/Adam or dial pound law pound 529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/Adam or pound law pound 529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement.
Ever walk into a store and not know what kind of wine to get? Well, I've stopped wasting time at the grocery store staring at a giant wall of wine and not knowing what to pick. That's why I love our next sponsor, Naked Wines. Naked Wines. Chardonnay, smooth, classic. Naked Wines is a service that directly connects you to the world's finest independent winemakers, so you can get award-winning wine delivered straight to your door. Take the guesswork out of it. Who the hell knows what's going on at this supermarket? Why make all these decisions? Go with Naked Wine. Let the geniuses, let the wine experts figure it out. Use our code ADAM for the code and password at nakedwines.com and get their incredible deal of 6 bottles for just $39.99. Yes, 6 bottles for just $39.99. Use the code ADAM at nakedwines.com and have a little conversation starter next time you pop one of these bad boys. It's Naked Wines.
Now is the time to join the Naked Wines community. Head to nakedwines.com/Adam. Click Enter Voucher and enter code ADAM for both the code and the password for 6 bottles of wine for just $39.99 with shipping included. That's $100 off your first 6 bottles at nakedwines.com/Adam and use the code ADAM and password ADAM for 6 bottles of wine for $39.99.
Keep your fucking dogs at home, everyone. Narcissists. Keep them at home. I've been saying this for 1,000 years, and everyone's like, oh, leave them alone, whatever. Keep your fucking dogs at home. Do not bring them to the airport, and certainly don't bring them to the restaurant. And whoever got your fucking dog eaten by a pit bull, well, shit happens, bitch. Leave the fucking dog at home next time. I have no sympathy for you.
That's what a dog restaurant would be, is just smaller dogs.
Yes.
That's what they would be serving.
Yeah, we call it cocktail weenies or something. We give it a good name. We give it a cocktails Magoobies joke weenie. All right, so we can all agree that while we're angry at the pit bull's just doing what pit bulls do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you bring them into some weird environment and you tell them to mind their P's and Q's while you watch us eat and drink for an hour and a half. Right. That's a tall order for a pit bull. You know what I mean? Pit bulls are
nightmare.
pit bulls.
It's like, and their sense of smell is 9,000 times that of a human. So to bring in a place where you're just blowing food in their face and you're like, be quiet. It's like when a bachelorette party shows up at a comedy club. It's like, maybe you just shouldn't even be here.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
You're 23, you're drunk, you're unfunny, and you're super talkative and loud.
Yeah.
And you take a pit bull and you just waft in quesadilla smell into its nose for a half hour, and the fucking thing starts freaking out a little bit.
Chihuahua make direct eye contact with them.
Sitting there smelling a quesadilla with steak in it, and it's looking at a schnauzer, it's going, where's that? What's going on around here?
It's gonna just turn into that rotisserie chicken.
Why am I not eating food? That little guy's eating all the food. I need to eat him. Yeah. I get it.
It's the owner's fault. Mentality. It's the fucking owner's fault.
Yeah,
Stop bringing your dogs places, everyone. And you really don't need your dog to eat. You need your dog to hunt. That's it. It's only hunting dogs.
And to protect you from wild animals.
I only want hunting dogs and seeing-eyed dogs with handles. That's it. No more your fucking dogs, weak brains. Keep them at home. And I get it. And by the way, everyone knows what they're doing. They just want their dog with them. They're not providing a service. The service is I want my dog with me, which is cool. Like I want my dog with me too.
Sure.
But I'm not an insane narcissist.
Right. It's a disservice animal to everyone else. In the venue.
Right. That's right. It's a service to you and a disservice to everyone else. I don't know, Dawes, remember those pictures I took at LAX where a dog squirted diarrhea for about 30 feet? It just squirted diarrhea for 30 feet. The bitch with the dog is just walking ahead, and the dog's laying down an oil slick like James Bond. You know what I mean? Like in his DB5, there's Goldfinger's behind him. He pushes the trigger, And I'm walking behind. I'm turning the corner. This thing's going around the corner. I'm going, what the fuck is going on? I'm seeing stewardess with the wheelie luggage go right through the fucking shit stream. Everyone's on their phone and walking real fast, and I'm looking at all, I have hypervigilance, so I'm looking at all the shit on the ground, going, what the fuck? And everyone's just plowing, everyone's just trucking right, stepping in it, and the floor shines. And then some poor fat Mexican lady who works at the airport has to come in behind the rich, white, entitled chick and clean up her fucking dog shit.
She has to scoop up all the comfort diarrhea.
Yes. All right. Now zoom in a little here. I got multiple pictures here. This is right in the middle of LAX, right in the middle of a busy terminal. And this guy fired shit, 4 foot long of shit. Ugh. And look ahead. If you look ahead 10 feet, there's more shit on the ground. They just spread shit right all over the walkway, and people they rolled their luggage right on through. It's got to be weird when they get to the hotel. Like, who farted? Honey, did you fart? No. Well, I smell shit. It's coming from your Samsonite. Yeah,
but we're not allowed to bring a bottle of water through security.
That's more than 3.5 fluid ounces.
I had a guy tell me he had cologne. The cologne said like 5 ounces on it, and the guy was like 3.5. And he's like, well, it's half empty. And the guy's like, TSA guy's like, just go stand by the trash can and do like 10. Oh, yeah. And by the way, put on this dunce cap while you're doing it. Could you do that? Could you do that for me? And then before you come back, just going to need you to do the hokey pokey real quick. Just turn yourself around. All right, then go on through. I mean, because that's what it is now. Just guy standing by a trash can, right?
Yeah. The only time I get confrontational with people in public is with the TSA. And I had one guy behind me, just another passenger, say, just leave them alone. They're doing their job. It's not their fault. And I was like, it's 100% their fault. Like, these people chose a job that knew it would allow them to go through other people's stuff and touch you. Like, hard to root for that guy.
I agree. When people go all the time, look, why are you hassling the meter maid? Why are you hassling the meter maid? They chose this job.
They tried hard to get this job.
They stood in line. They filled out an application.
They were in competition with 20 other people.
They were drug tested. They were tested and see if they could drive a left-hand drive Cushman. This is more shit from the same airport.
No.
Do you see the owner anywhere cleaning it up, or is that bitch gone? And if you look ahead, even another 12 feet ahead, they spread this shit out over 3 or 4 gates. And it just sat there. And by the way, I don't know what's wrong with most human beings. Everyone was just on their phone plowing through the shit. I was like, what is going on?
Well, I mean, you assume that you walk to the airport, it's going to be duty free.
That's good. Yeah, I get it. I get that people don't expect to step in dog shit at LAX.
Definitely not.
But you still got to have your fucking head on a swivel.
But then this thing is now getting on a plane, like something with a stomach this volatile.
Well, not only
is the owner like, he's probably done.
He's good now.
Yeah, he shit his brains out in the airport. He's good for the next 6 hours. No, yes, you have a dog that got hold of a bad Gainsburger the night before and is now on the flight farting and shitting in coach. But also, you have all the people that stepped in the shit and rolled their wheelie bag through the shit getting on flights as well.
Sure.
Starting a global pandemic like the end of 12 Monkeys.
By the way, this is the majesty of terrazzo for flooring, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I want terrazzo. Because you do this on carpet, you got to fucking roll it up and throw it away. You do this on vinyl, anything but terrazzo. Terrazzo, you just get in there with a squeegee and a hose like a monkey cage and just spray that whole thing down. Terrazzo's bulletproof.
Why are we showing it? Close-up, Dawson. Oh, my God.
The guy who throws elbows into orbital sockets all of a sudden got a conscience about being his sensibilities have been offended by the fecal matter.
I'm just trying to stay on YouTube.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so dogs. Okay. No more dogs. No fucking more. And listen, everybody. Sorry that we have to do this. Like, we've now come to we live in a society where I had a lengthy conversation with an employee a day ago about his father-in-law taking his daughter. His daughter is this person's fiance, wife, girlfriend, significant other, taking her Prius in to get a cage welded around the catalytic converter so it couldn't be stolen. So thanks, Dad. But that's where we're living. We've just signed off on a world, not a world where we try to stop people from stealing catalytic converters, a world where we need to put a shark cage around our catalytic converters, and some world where there's going to be shit in airports and dog fights at restaurants, but not a world where we tell you can't do that.
Right.
We need to get back to that world, everybody. I'm telling you right now, leaving people alone, the natural state. I had a hippie mom, and she was into the leave it alone, the natural state. And we had a front yard, my house that we flopped in, which was my grandma's house, and she was like, just leave that front yard alone. Like, let nature take over. She was like an Indian, Well, 2 months later, it was fucking weeds up to here and shit everywhere, and it looked like shit. I mean, we should have been sued by the neighbors. Just stepping back and leaving it alone, you don't get a golf course putting green out of that. You get fucking weeds and raccoons and dirt and shit. You get shit.
Right. Yeah.
But there's this thing of we'll just step back and just let the people kind of do what they do.
No, it's the easier route, and a front lawn doesn't exist in nature. It's insane.
That's
this
right.
Is L.A. It's a desert. That's what should be here.
Right.
So to just leave it alone.
But it's a metaphor for how these idiots govern. Don't take these guys and put them here and just step back a little. Let them find their own space. Okay, that's shit in the airport, and you're missing your catalytic converter. The guard. There's a catalytic converter guard. Again, when we started running commercials for the medication that relieved constipation caused by the pain pills, we should have stopped and said, hold on, where are we heading here? Because we have another medication for the other medication the guy's hooked on because he's backed up, because he's taken too many Vicodin, and now we have another medication. We should stop for a second and really check ourselves here. When we started making a cage for your catalytic converter, we should have stopped as a society and started to take a look in the mirror. Where are we at as a society? The cage was $150, and the install was $80. But let me tell you what I know about criminals and cartels. This will soon be defeated as well. Or they'll just pull it off and sell the cage to somebody. But we're looking at a picture of it now. Now, is it screwed in, and how do they fasten it? Because they have those fasteners. You ever go into the bathroom and see those screws where you can only tighten them, but if you loosen them, it doesn't work?
Yeah.
You see that? Look, you need a special drive. Like, they'll do a lot of, you need a key, a special drive and a key or something.
Yeah.
I think these very resilient gangbangers are going to figure out a way to get under there with a 10 millimeter socket on an impact gun, and they'll figure the key out. Okay, so they do what they do is the Allen wrench with the little nipple in the center of it, and you need a key. But these people, and a 10 millimeter bolt, they will soon get these keys, and they will just put the keys on a cordless impact gun, and they'll zip, zip, zip. That'll fall away, and they'll go right to it. But maybe it's enough to stymie them. On the other hand, if they're carrying guns and shooting people who walk out, then they have all the time in the world, if you think about it. Like, if you think, well, I'm on the clock. Yeah, you're on the clock until the father of two walks out. But if you just kill him, then you can go about your business, right?
You know what seems easier than making that is moving.
It does. Like, maybe you should charge up the Prius. The range on a Prius is about 500 miles. That'll easily get you to Nevada. Easily. Yeah, I get the idea. They see the thing and they move on. Here's what's going to happen. They will be initially defeated by seeing it. Initially, they will see this cover and be defeated by it. That's the first wave of gangbangers. But the next generation of criminals will show up armed to defeat it. That's how life works. You know what I mean? Like, the first group of drug runners in their swift boats was getting busted, but the second group built submarines.
Sure.
Right? They always figure that out.
Yeah.
That's how criminals work. They're adaptive.
My grandfather played football with a leather strap on his head, and they were tackling each other a little differently than they do now. That's what's crazy about the more safety things we put in place, the more they're just weaponized. Yes. You went. People argue that it was a much safer game when people were worried. That makes sense.
Yeah. This is why I want airbags taken out of vehicles. Sure. It'll stop the texting immediately. All right. Let's see. I got other things to complain about. Let's see. There's a couple things I'm interested in. There's the...
Could I get your opinion on something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we live in Valencia now, but I used to live a couple blocks from here, just on the other side of IKEA. And when we moved down here from the Bay Area, I drove this Penske moving truck, which, by the way, is crazy to me. That, like, to work for a moving company, you have to get a different, driver's license. You have to train for it. But if you just want to rent a 30-foot vehicle you've never driven in your life, they're like, well, have it back by Thursday. You know what I mean?
It is an interesting world where when I rode a motorcycle in this city, I got busted and the motorcycle got towed because I didn't have a license for the motorcycle, even though I rode the motorcycle and I own the motorcycle. So I fucking know. It's like, do I need to pull a permit to use my toothbrush? Like, I think I got this, If I don't got it, I'll know it real fast, So, yes. it's a two-wheeled little vehicle, and I need a special license for it. But if you want to jump into the 30-footer with grandma's attic hanging over the top and mirrors you're not used to, you can just take that and plow right down the highway.
I was terrified the entire time. And
or you can fill it with fertilizer and go down to the federal building. But sorry, too dark. Go ahead.
So I make the trip down here, just white knuckling it the entire time, and I have to have it back by like 5 p.m. or it's an extra $80 or whatever it was. And so I'm searching around downtown Burbank for a gas station that has diesel. I didn't realize at the time not every place has diesel. I finally find one off of Glen Oaks. As I pull into it, I snap a water main, and then I see in the passenger mirror just this dirty, muddy geyser, 35 feet. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just
you clipped like almost a fire hydrant.
It was like an upside down U, and it was just pure copper, which isn't gonna hold. But no cage or anything around that. By the way, no
copper cage. Yeah. Just sweated copper.
So 2 inch. I didn't even feel it. Yeah. I just pulled in, and I was mad at Penske, like, well, yeah, this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
You think I've ever practiced with orange cones? I rented this yesterday so I could put my entire life in it.
I do like the people that sue people, but basically the thesis is you should have known I was retarded before you sold me this crossbow. Like, you know what I mean? I'm suing the shop. You know, I love the thesis of you should have known I was completely inept and a fuck up and I like to day drink before you sold me this, fill in the blank, or let me do this. Let me tell you about Chime. Well, small steps lead to big changes, especially in your financial future. So when you open up a Chime checking account, you're one step closer to a better financial future. With no maintenance fees, fee-free overdraft, up to $200, or getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. Making progress has never been easier. Listen, I remember I used to struggle saving my nickels and dimes. I wish there was a Chime back then. All I had was an ATM, and I forgot my PIN number. Get spotted on debit card purchases and cash withdrawals as well. No monthly fees or maintenance fees. To date, Chime has spotted members over 30 billion with a B. 30 billion, and you could be one of them. It's Chime, right, Dawson?
Turn your everyday purchases into steps toward your financial goals with Chime's secure credit card. Get started today at chime.com/Adam. That's chime.com/Adam. Chime feels like progress. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Out-of-network ATM withdrawals and OTC advance fees may apply. Late payment may negatively affect your credit score. Results may vary. My pay eligibility requirements apply. Credit limits range from $20 to $500. Go to chime.com/disclosures for details. Don't miss Adam Carolla Live this weekend at the Desert Ridge Improv in Phoenix, Arizona. 5 shows. 2 on Friday night, 2 on Saturday night, and 1 on Sunday. Next month, Adam hits San Diego at American Comedy Club on April 11th and 12th. Get tickets for this and all of Adam Carolla's shows at adamcarolla.com.
It's an interesting thought. You guys tell me if you sign off on this thought. I've had a lot of different cars over the years, and I never can really figure out what side the gas cap is on. And and no matter how many times I fill up, I still have to check the smallest arrow ever created.
You're right.
The smallest arrow ever man has ever, you know, sometimes you see people like we're going to do the Magna Carta on a grain of rice. That's the guy they use to put the arrow where you're going, what side there's the gas pump thing on the dash. Where is the? It's not even a full arrow. They won't even commit to an arrow. They just go head, no
Triangle.
shaft, just head.
Even then, it's not even that intuitive because it's just a triangle, and you're like, what side is that even?
Yeah. By the way, isosceles, we could go any direction with that. They'll tell you about the octagon.
There's no gas tank openings on both sides. How much more would that cost?
They had some of that.
Oh.
Some of that in the 60s, like 70s, the high end. They would do both sides. They do the cool one that was right in the back.
Oh, the center.
So you're always,
Flip up
it's like
the
being
license
bisexual. You're always getting laid. You're always getting laid.
Yeah.
Because it's in the middle. You know what I mean? You can't, there's no wrong direction. Can I tell you the embarrassment and the heartache of pulling in and then going, fuck, it's on, and then you got to do the math. Well, wait a minute, I'll be facing the other direction, so it's still going to be on the wrong. No, and then people are honking and trying to get in, and you're doing, I'm sorry, I got to come around. Okay, how about this? I got a thought. I get burned. If I don't check, I never guess right. There's no coin toss for me. I lose every time. Don't you think that's the essence of whether a person is lucky or not? Like, we should take every 18-year-old and just put them in 10 different cars and just go over there and fill up. Go to that mobile. And they go, what side? You're not going to know what side the gas is on. I want you to just feel it.
Yeah.
Just feel it. Let's see where you're at. Now, I'd probably go like 1 for 9. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But if I found a kid that went 9-1 or 10-0, I'd like, we're going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Because you got it.
Rain Man
You
style.
got something going on. Like, this is just a natural thing. And we put a little piece of tape on the dash. Nobody knows what side, anything. I just said, just drive in and get gas. How about that? Just do it.
To me, it's the same principle of like, this is why I think the lottery is insane, or why it's bonkers that anyone would ever buy a lottery ticket. The odds to the Mega Millions is 1 in 300 million. That is unbelievable. It's incomprehendibly. It's essentially zero, right? That's like it's like guessing if someone said like, pay me $5, I'll give you $1 billion. It's hidden in any address in the entire United States of America. All you have to do is guess it. People would be like, that's crazy. Those odds are 1 in 300 million. When I walk out of my hotel room, I've been doing comedy for 20 years. Every time I walk out, I can't remember which way the elevator is.
Right.
Those odds are 1 in 2.
Right.
But 1 in 300 million. Like, if you look at your weather app and it says like there's a 10% chance of rain, you're not going to cancel a wedding because you're like, well, that'll never happen. That's 1 in 10 that we know that will never happen. But for some reason, it hits 1 in 300 million, and everyone's like, well, you never know.
Well, when you go, it's funny. When you go to white people places, you don't get behind people that are buying these things. Like if you live. When I used to live in Malibu, you never pull into the liquor store or the supermarket and go, oh, this fucking Yutz is buying lottery tickets. See, when you get behind someone who's buying lottery tickets and you're not, so rich white people don't engage in this because they know the fucking odds, and as they would say, it's folly.
Well, if you live in Malibu, you kind of already won the lottery.
You won the lottery. But it's the poor brown people that are doing it in L.A., And the thing is, you go in a liquor store and you pull up behind one of these guys, you're like, okay, this is good because this guy's just buying cigarettes or something. And the guy's going, give me 2 of the jackpot. Not with the cherries, not with the... Yeah, no, those are cherry tomatoes. I'm talking about Bing cherries. Yeah, and you're like, did you just fucking get your stupid tickets and lose and go home already? And then they're working a strategy out. They're going to give me 2 California scratchers, and then let's see, how many grandkids? I have 36 grandkids, so give me 36 of the Los Angeles, the one with the Dodger hat on it. Yeah, I mean, and you're like, okay, there is no strategy, you fucking idiot. And by the way, I'm looking at you. If you were lucky, I think we would have known it by now. Your truck has 3 different color fenders on it. You have fucking stucco on your head. You're a mess.
This is the same guy who pulled into that gas station and corrected himself 3 times.
Right. Okay, you're not lucky, and you certainly don't have the money for this. You're throwing the money away. We pray on stupid poor people with the lottery, but I've never heard a fucking politician say a word. Now, remember what? Oh, God. I found out. I'm going to ask you to do something, Dawson. Remember that commercial? Or there's a commercial I was complaining a lot about, and for some reason, that cow politician Katy Porter, who's running for governor. She's going to be yes, that fucking cow.
I'm Katy Porter.
The one who moved to California 12 years ago.
Yeah, she drove her fucking
all of a sudden
minivan over here.
Yeah, she's not a Californian.
Okay, all right. I listen. I with all due respect, she's a retarded cow.
Yes,
with all due, and I like her, and I'm saying she's a retarded cow. Out of respect, I found out yesterday she's running for governor, so we are fucked in California if she wins. But look, Kamala wins, Katy Porter wins. I don't know, whatever it is, we're fucked. But okay, she had a whole thing. Remember, I told you Washington Mutual or B of A or whatever, like 4 or 5 years ago, they ran this campaign to us, and where they were like, "Hey, it was your bank account, your savings account, talking to you," and it was basically just going. You would go, how come I don't have more money in my savings account? And then your savings account would say, well, maybe you should make your own coffee instead of buying expensive, Starbucks. And then you'd go, how come there's not more money? And your bank account would say, well, you should walk instead of Ubering and get some exercise. And you should cook meals at home instead of going out. It was basically your account telling you to do sensible shit for people who didn't have a lot of money. Like, you don't have a lot of money, make your meals at home. You don't have a lot of money, make your coffee at home. Don't pay $8 for a coffee. For some reason, this angered Liz Warren, and because Katy Perry dikes out, or I should say Katy Porter. Oh, man, that'd be a coin toss.
That would.
What if I said that? You going to spin that wheel? The Katy Perry, Katy Porter. Oh, now we got a new Avril Lavigne.
That's a new Admiral Avril.
Yeah. So I had a game that I used to like to play here, which is Avril Lavigne, hot Canadian popstar, versus Admiral Lavigne, he, she, crazy man, woman working for the Biden administration as health and human whatever, who was that cow up there going, during Black History Month. And then you're like, oh. But Avril Lavigne, hot.
Sure.
So do you spin that wheel at 50-50 going you're going into the bedroom? 50-50.
Based on your gas tank luck, maybe not.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. If I saw a kid who went 9-1, I'd go, you fucking spin that wheel, because Avril Lavigne's going to be sucking your dick. I wouldn't spin it.
In there.
You'd spin it?
Yeah.
All right.
So do you, Porter if I needed to. Porky Porter.
All right. So you'll do the Katy Porter, Katy Perry wheel spin.
100%. Yeah.
All right, write that down, Dawson. This is going to be a thing for us now, because Admiral Lavigne is gone now. Poor Admiral Lavigne is gone now.
Geez.
You spin that wheel?
Man. Oh my God! Never mind.
It's funny. I like when guys start negotiating. Like, I'll do a 55-45 split on it, but I'm not going 50-50.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Katy Porter, who's going to run for governor, was doing this whole thing about your checking account. I don't know. She was yelling at Washington Mutual or B of A for telling people what to do. I don't know why. I would call that sound advice, but okay. Yeah. Why doesn't she blast the California lottery? Why don't any of these politicians attack the lottery? It preys on poor people. It preys on Okay. Who's Katy Porter and Gavin Newsom's and all Mayor Bass? Who is their favorite person? Poor Mexicans. They love poor Mexicans. That's their whole world. The raison d'etre is poor Mexicans. It ain't rich whitey. It's poor Mexican. This shit preys on poor Mexicans. How come I don't hear a fucking word out of your mouth?
100%. Well, yeah, and the states make so much money from the lottery.
Well, you don't care about money. You're not Elon Musk. Elon Musk sits on his bed made of money and laughs and protects himself with sacks of money. But that's Elon Musk. You guys don't care about money. No. You love poor Mexicans.
And they say like 40% of it goes to schools. And it's like, well, how good are the schools if they're not teaching kids they shouldn't buy lottery tickets, right? They leave that out of the
number one
curriculum.
class that money should fund is why not to buy a lottery ticket, taught by Professor Carolla. followed by you can't bring your dog to a fucking airport, followed by you can't bring your dog to a Gaucho Grill. All right, so that clip is somewhere, Dawson. I can't. It's like 5 years old.
I'm looking for
though.
Katy Porter right now.
Okay, sorry. Yes, yeah. So why aren't they stepping out? Why aren't they protecting the poor people? It really is horrible for poor people, and that does not affect rich people.
Oh yeah,
at
it's
all.
insane. I mean, if you want to make a good business, make your product addictive, and that's what the lottery is. That's what gambling is. But I also understand. Like, I never gambled in my life. I did one time in Atlantic
Hold on, every
City.
time you get behind the wheel of a truck, bro, you're rolling the
Moving
dice.
truck.
Yeah, that's a gamble. Not only for you, but we're all living in your casino now because we could all be killed.
So I go to this casino in Atlantic City just because I was with another comic who was like a gambling addict. And he was like, if you've never been to a casino before, they give you a free voucher if you join. And I was like, sure, fine, we'll do it. There's, I have nothing else to do this afternoon. So I get the voucher for like $20. I put it in the machine. And of course, they're all rigged to do this to like start that dopamine cycle that ruins your entire life. Because the first time I don't even know what it's called when you do the slot machine. The first time I pulled a lever, I win $90 off of this 20. And immediately I understood like the two paths that lay before me, because on the one hand I was like, I knew 100% they do this on purpose to keep you here so you can lose the rest throughout the day. But the other part of me was like, but I may never have to work ever again.
Yeah.
And that's why people buy lottery tickets.
The government is complicit, the politicians are complicit, and the fucking news outlets are complicit. Like, oh, the California Lottery is top $22 billion, so go out there. And we send a camera crew out to a liquor store to see poor Mexicans stand in line. Like, hi, Bert, here I am. We got dumb Mexicans standing in line. They don't have money. Sir, how much do you owe in back child support? Mucho dollars, my friend. All right, how much you going to spend on well, I'm going to spend the money that I'm supposed to give to child support and orthodontia toward a child of mine. Anyway, here we go. Back to you in the studio.
Yeah, the real news should be, can you believe people are still doing this?
Yes.
Like the
All right.
odds.
So my whole thing with all these fucking people is, until you stand up against your own lottery, I do not fucking believe you. And I say the same thing about the women's groups that are worried about the way Trump is treating. Until you go abroad and find women that are getting fucking acid thrown in their face for reading, then I'm not listening to you. Because I think your moral compass is broken, or I don't believe you on whatever else you're talking about. Did you find it? Yeah, all right. So there's the ad, and then we have Katie's tweets, which, by the way,
This is a news story from USA Today, I believe. It's a video.
But I just think it's great that a lady with Down syndrome's running for office.
Me too. It's nice. J.P. Morgan Chase's attempt to spread some Monday motivation on Twitter completely backfired. The bank had sent a tweet to its 400,000 people. All right, pause it there. So the bank says, why? Oh, sorry about the pause it, but pause it. I'm trying to read it. The bank says, why is my balance so low? The bank account, make coffee at home. Bank account, eat the food that's already in the fridge. Bank account, you don't need a cab. It's only 3 blocks away. Okay. These are all things I would consider when I was poor, which everybody who's low on cash.
Yeah.
Now, first off, rich people should think this way too. They just don't have to. But this is a noble way to think. Okay, well, that's what Chase Bank sent out. Seems pretty innocuous, except for to retarded cows. They get angry. And Liz Warren gets angry too. Somebody must have sent her smoke signals to the reservation so she was able to read the smoke signals. Or she put her ear down to the train tracks and didn't like the way Chase was talking. Do they have the internet on the reservation?
I don't know.
Okay, anyway, so then they respond, so you can keep it going. So this is just a story, but it's aimed at customers with low balances, but was supposed to include tips on how to save money. It received backlash. All right, hold on. Pause. Okay, Dawson, you're going to have to keep your finger by the pause button, is what I'm saying, during these events. Or somebody
I'm controlling audio.
Oh, okay. Who's the pause person? Byron, I think for the maybe this will be the 37th time we've discussed this, but you got to keep your finger next to the button. So when I said pause, then you would pause it.
Yes, sir.
How many times in your mind has that come up if I said that?
I mean, my finger's on the button, but then like it disappears because the video plays without me doing any input. And then
Spacebar.
Also, I'm trying to keep it clean for the viewers at home so that when it's in the picture, it doesn't look so.
Oh, okay. All right, you're multitasking, but keep the finger on the pause button. That's what I'm saying. All right, so now I got to go back because Liz Warren got involved, and she doesn't like this. I don't know why. Critics like presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren, so this is older, had something to say about it. And at some point, Katy Porter got involved. Oh, there she is, Katy Porter. They both fired back several responses denouncing the bank's tweet. Okay, now let's see what Kate. Can anyone read that? I can't read it.
It says, hey, Chase, try paying your workers more. Families aren't spending frivolously. They're trying to pay rent. That's what Katy Porter says.
Okay, listen, retarded cow. If you're trying to pay rent, then don't pay $8 for a coffee at Starbucks and eat at home, and don't pay Uber $14 for a place you could walk to in 10 minutes. Is that why? Why doesn't the retarded cow understand that concept? Well, by the way, Chase probably could pay their employees more, but this tweet is not meant for their employees. It's meant for humanity. It's meant for the tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. This is not an internal memo, retarded cow. This is for the people to save money. But by the way, are these like gotchas or zingers from the retarded cow? Like, how about paying your people more? Okay, we could do that. And poor people could not pay $11 for coffee.
All right.
Can we do them both? Okay. Try paying workers more.
If she really was an advocate of the poor, she would be saying, that's probably a good idea.
Yes.
Don't do things you can't
If she
afford.
actually gave a fuck about poor people.
Really
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, families aren't spending frivolously. They're trying to pay rent. Well, how the fuck do you know what? First off, how many poor people you seen with expensive rims on their piece of shit cars? I would go ahead and call that frivolous. Would you not?
Yeah.
I would say that'd be frivolous. Poor people are perfectly buying a lottery ticket is frivolous spending, which is done exclusively by poor people, retarded cow, Porter. So that is frivolous. That's the ultimate in frivolous. At least when you buy rims for your Denali and the rims are worth more than the fucking car is, at least you're on something. This is you buying rims and the rims never show up. You just go in and pay for the rims and then you go home and and then you say to your wife, like, she goes, where are the rims? You go, it didn't work out. I didn't win the rims. Okay.
I get both. I mean, both sides of this is insane to me because like Chase Bank giving out financial advice when the government also bailed them out for $3 billion.
Oh yeah. I'm not a lover of big corporations.
Yeah.
What I don't like is retarded cows trying to make hay when if you did care about your poor constituency, you would work hard to eliminate the lottery.
Sure. You just add on vote for me at the end of every sentence and you see the perverse incentive.
Right.
That's the only reason.
Who's a bigger issue for your poor folks? Is it Chase Bank or is it the lottery? Okay. Sorry. You can keep it going, Dawson. So Katy Porter went to call out Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan. All right, retarded cow. All right, so anyway, here's the point. We're fucked. If we either get the retarded cow or we get Kamala. I don't know, who else? Who else? Dr. Drew? Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be sick, yeah.
Oh, I'd be in his ear every day. Listen to these red turn arrows.
I hope I get a cabinet position.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I'll put you in a cabinet, all right? Medicine cabinet. I'll lock it. All right. So I don't know anything about Katy Porter other than she decided to burn calories attacking an institution that told poor people to save their money. And for that, She's become a retarded cow. But the wheel, once again. Now, first off, I love Avril Lavigne. I like that wheel better.
Yeah.
But Admiral Lavigne, that's a lot of downside. Because that's cock and balls. There.
Push him out the way and get to work.
Listen, we didn't spend as much time in prison as you did. We have different sensibilities about these things.
He's a man.
But Katy, I mean,
fuck it, I'm a gambler.
What do you do?
I'm a gambling man, Adam. Let me at it.
Kellen, what do you do? First off, which wheel do you want to be on? You want the Avril Lavigne, or you want the Katy Porter or the Katy Perry wheel?
Oh, I don't know if I'm going to play this. I should have kept my wedding ring on.
It doesn't. I'm sorry, but you have to play the game. So, which wheel we
I'll
spinning?
play this one.
You will?
Yeah. I don't mind someone in uniform.
Yeah, but the uniform's going to hit the floor pretty quickly.
And are you a skater boy?
Yeah. Listen, as much as I hate Katy Porter, I think I got to stick with the Katy Porter one because at least mathematically things will work out, even if it's a bad math. All right, you got some news ready to go over there?
I got some news.
All right, we're going to hang out, and we're going to do a little news, right, Kellen?
Sounds good.
We'll do that right after this. Homes.com knows that when it comes to home shopping, it's never just about the house or condo. It's about the home. And what makes a home is more than just a house or property. It's the location. It's the neighborhood. If you have kids, it's also schools, nearby parks, transportation options, all the above. That's why Homes.com goes above and beyond to bring home shoppers the in-depth information they need to find the right home. And when I say in-depth, I'm talking about deep. That's right. Each listing features comprehensive information about the neighborhood, complete with a video guide. They also have details about local schools with test scores, state rankings, and student-to-teacher ratio. They even have an agent directory with the sales history of each agent. So when it comes to finding a home, not just a house, this is everything you need to know, all in one place. Homes.com. Homes.com. We've done your homework. O'Reilly. O'Reilly. Auto Parts. Wow. Yeah, you know the jingle. Yeah, they're in the business of keeping your car on the road. O'Reilly Auto Parts offers friendly, helpful service and the parts and knowledge you need for maintenance and for repairs as well. I've always been a fan of O'Reilly. You know, I like the wrench. Used to use the one over in North Hollywood. Then it was the one up in La Cañada, or La Crescenta when I used to live out there. I'm always working on my stuff and always using O'Reilly. Whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you're going to find the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts to be knowledgeable, helpful, and best of all, they are friendly. So stop by. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Do it today. Or you can visit us online, O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam.
My buddy will only use human cashiers because he says that robots are taking jobs away from people. If you really felt that way, you'd throw your phone in the toilet, right? Because that thing has taken jobs away from travel agents, fitness instructors, photographers, manufacturers of CDs, paper maps, pedometers, phone booths, Rolodexes, stopwatches, calculators, alarm clocks. So maybe stop pretending you have Rage Against the Machine and just admit you can't figure out how to price bananas.
Kellen Erskine is on the Adam Carolla Show.
It's funny because it's true. All right, what do you got there, Mayhem?
All right, in the news today, Rosie O'Donnell has been sparring with President Trump since 2006, and now the frequent Trump critic has confirmed she's fled the country after his return to the Oval Office.
I respect her because she left. Everyone else, the Cher and all the Bruce Springsteen and all the fucking pencil dicks always talk about it and then they never go anywhere. And then no one ever asks them what the fuck happened.
Sure.
And then they have the balls to load up and do it again the next election season. You know, like anyone believes them.
She went.
She left.
She went to Ireland. She's in the process of applying for Irish citizenship.
Okay. All right. First off, is she just good for money for her whole like syndicated TV is big bucks?
Yeah.
The place you get paid the most is like daytime Judge Judy shit, you know, daytime TV shit. So she's set for life. Like, what's her deal? Does she need to work? And then certainly they can get like a reality show out of this, right?
Well, I was going to say, I think if you leave the country, then you also have to sever ties with whatever American companies are still paying you, right? Isn't that still sort of holding on to America?
Yeah.
My opinion on this has changed a little bit. You remember when Bill Clinton was running for office and some people are like, but he dodged the draft. But now, I don't know, after like having kids, how do you feel about the draft? Like, I think if one of my kids, especially, I mean, he dodged Vietnam. I just can't imagine at that time. I think I would have headed for Winnipeg the moment I got that letter in the mail from my son.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird when they try to slap some morality thing around something we all probably would have done. Do you know what I mean? Like they'll do it. They did it with like Kavanaugh. Like he'd go to parties and they'd get drunk and they'd go up to the bedroom and try to get the girls drunk. It's like, yeah, all right, there you go. Right, keep going. Like I mean, you're outraged. 17 drinking beers. You know, it's like, yeah, right, yeah, okay. Like, even once in a while you'll talk to a chick and she'll go, I pull up to a stoplight. I look over, there's a guy's masturbating in his car. I'm like, okay, right? Then what? He's masturbating in the car. Like, yeah. Oh, right. Outrageous. He probably pees in the sink when he gets home. Well, how tall is he? Oh, my God. Yeah. So, yes, I would attempt to dodge the draft.
Yeah,
I'm
would
sure.
Too. In all respect, and I love my country and everything, but like if LBJ is going to throw 500,000 guys over there at a war that we knew we were losing anyway, like it's if you're deciding for your child between that and Vancouver, how do you even? Why is that not a noble decision? You know.
Well, here's the thing. I will weigh out the legitimacy of the war. And then I'll decide whether I send my kid to death. If it's Nazis and German, you know, they're invading Poland and France, go die.
Sure.
Go die.
Go die.
Well,
but if Korea's getting a little out of hand, let's sit this one out. I'll decide.
Sure, it's up to the parent.
That's right.
Rosie O'Donnell says she thinks about the U.S. every day and, quote, I am hoping that we can turn things around. I'm counting on you, all of you, to do what's right. And I think deep down inside, we all know what that is. I don't know what
she's talking about. A suicide bomber, or what are we talking about?
I don't know. I was wondering.
Well, he's only got one term, so voting's out. So then, what's the right thing? Like inject him with poison or something? Rosie said she was going to return when it's safe. Here's what I don't get with all these narcissistic asswipes. How did you survive the first Trump term? Like you're. Rosie, all you did was sit around and film yourself complaining for those 4 years. How did that work? Were you running serpentine to the mailbox and there was a guy with the butterfly net chasing you around from the DOJ, or did you just fucking sit at home and eat? Like what is so different? Yeah. And then this one will be the same way. It's a weird thing, that Target. Yeah, so she said she's going to come back when it's safe.
But if it's like a different Republican who gets elected, does she just move back a little closer?
Yeah,
like
she goes into Europe. Yeah, she goes through the channel.
If she's afraid of getting disappeared or what. But yeah, she's out there. And
you know what? Here's my attitude as America. When she goes like, "All right, it's safe. I'm coming back," I'd be like, "We're good." You know what? Yeah. These months and years since you've been gone have been some of the best. I would call this the salad days of this country. It's like the roaring 20s. It started the day you left. So, I don't know if it's connected to you, Rosie, but I don't want to jinx it.
Do you think when she moved to Ireland, she's like, finally, I can take these casings off my catalytic converters?
Yeah, I'm going to take the shark cage off my catalytic. I don't know if she drove there. probably flew or took a boat. All right, so Rosie's gone.
Yeah,
Good.
Rosie's gone. Look, I hope we have some video of this. A fight erupts.
By the way, let me say this. Nobody ever does this, but she goes, it's the safest place for me and my 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're fucking your kid up. You're fucking your kid up, crazy mom. Like when Alyssa Milano would do that bullshit a few years ago, she'd go, I would go into my daughter's room at night, lay in her bed and weep openly. I'm like, okay, you're fucking your kid up, you crazy narcissistic witch. You're fucking your kid. Don't lie in bed with your 9-year-old and openly weep. You're fucking your kid. You're scrambling. Rosie, you're scrambling your 12-year-olds. 12-year-old was probably hell of a soccer player, you know what I mean? It got pulled right out of the league, probably leading the league in goals on Long Island, and you just fucking pulled her out and moved into the Blarney Stone?
Yeah.
That's not fun for a kid.
Learn how to play field hockey, kid.
Got no friends.
Yeah.
All the friends are gone. Looking forward to going into the 7th grade, but no, not anymore.
Did you ever read or have the children's book, I'll Love You Forever? Do you remember that book? It was a story.
No, I hate all children's books, but go ahead.
Every page you turn, the child gets incrementally older, and the mom is rocking the child and says the same thing, I love you forever, da-da-da-da. It's this whole rhyme, and it gets to the point, this is what it reminded me of, it gets to the point where he's a grown man living in his own house. And this is a children's book. It's meant to be cute, and it's, put your kid to sleep. She brings a ladder that reaches to the 2nd story window, climbs up it, and is holding her adult son. Same thing, I'll love you forever. And you're supposed to say good night, like I'll always be with you to your kids.
It's creepy,
what
right?
a crazy message, right? Yeah, I would have sent him off to Vietnam at that point.
Yeah, even
I got both
Korea.
spurs.
Yeah, okay. Couple things. Children's books with a shit message drive me nuts. It drives me nuts. As a parent, you start sitting around like Dawson, you can look it up. We're going in the Wayback Machine today, but Wow Wow Wubsy talking about being the coolest with the golden rule. Like, there's time I used to sit in front of my TV set with my twins when they were like 5, and they'd be watching a cartoon, and I'd be yelling, no, don't fucking listen to Dora the Explorer. That fucking bitch, she shouldn't even be in this country. And it's like, you want to know what the worst one is? One of the most celebrated children's books, I remember from my childhood, everyone loved it. It was so big, they made it into a fucking feature, Where the Wild Things Are.
I was just going to say. Yeah.
Where the Wild Things Are. It's huge. And every hippie fucking mom loves it. They all love it. Where the Wild Things Are is a kid is out of control. And he's running with a fucking fork chasing the dog or the cat. He's going to stab the cat with a fork. So the kid's a total fucking violent felon delinquent.
Pajamas.
So he gets sent up to his room to kind of gets a timeout. Yeah. And then during his timeout, he fucking downs some mushrooms and ends up on some island. And he ends up on an island where even though all the beasts have like 1,300 pounds on him, he becomes the king of all the beasts. For some, I don't know, he just shows up in his PJs and they go, now you're the king.
Yeah.
They don't really explain how that worked. And he doesn't like fight the alpha beast and beat him or anything. He just shows up and they make him the king. And then,
like, we respect what you did to that cat.
Yeah, we hate cats too. And then at some point he misses his family or something and he sails away. And then they stand on the shore and they yell, come back or we'll eat you. Which is a weird way to try to tempt someone to turn their sailboat around. So that part doesn't make any sense. And then he comes back to his room and there's chocolate cake and milk waiting for him. The end. And I'm like, what message? What message is this?
I don't understand.
What are we sending? If you try to kill your cat with a fork, do not fear. You'll go to an island where you'll be declared the king of the monsters. And then at some point, you'll return to your room and there'll be some German chocolate cake and milk waiting for you. This is a message? Oh, God. What was that douche that wrote this fucking movie? Sendak, right. This guy was, I don't know, we hailed him. We were so fucking dumb in the 60s and the 70s. Like, this guy's a genius. Like, this guy's retarded. No,
that
this
carried
book doesn't
over.
mean anything.
It was my childhood, too. That
Maurice,
was part of it.
yeah, Where the Wild Things Are. Yeah.
We did. I have a book podcast, The Book Pile, and we did spend a whole episode just talking about Goodnight Moon, which is another one. It's creepy. Yeah. It gets darker and darker throughout it. There's that. It's like Goodnight Brush, Goodnight Mush. There's one part where you turn a page and it's blank and it just says Goodnight Nothing, and it is the creepiest.
Wow.
Good night, son.
Okay. Can we just understand that people create for children because they cannot create for adults? That's right.
I think you're right. Yeah.
In the children's book, the author's last interview before he died of a stroke in May, which could have been May 20 years ago, but Sendak said he thought about trying to assassinate former President George W. Bush and former Vice President Dick Cheney. First off, I knew this guy was a fucking lib. Yeah. I knew it. I knew it because this is a retarded lib message. Yeah. Bush was president. I thought it would be brave. Tie a bomb to your shirt and insist on going into the White House. Well, I haven't checked security protocol at the White House recently, but I think if you tie a bomb to your shirt, no matter how hard you insist, like this letter's very important to get to the president, they'll probably detain you or maybe be shot by sniper, hopefully, before you get to the checkpoint. He wants to go put a bomb on a shirt and have a big hug with Vice President and the president and his wife. And the president and his wife and anyone else that can fit into a love hug. Sendak I told you this guy was a fucking crackpot. I knew it. I knew who this guy was.
It's crazy so liberal because half the book is about colonialism.
It really is. White kid shows up, takes over the indigenous people's lives. Okay. I'm glad this guy's gone. But this book, it's the worst. But Wow Wow Wubsy's the worst. Wow Wow Wubsy. Yeah. This is the message that's been inculcated into every 5-year-old in America by this fucking asshole.
You don't have to do a fancy dance. You don't have to wear the fancy pants. You only have to give yourself a chance, and you'll see you are the coolest. You don't have to talk a certain way. There's nothing special that you have to say. Just be yourself every day, and everyone will know.
Everyone is gonna know.
Being cool is easy and fun.
This is how kids get beat up.
I know.
Be yourself, you'll be number one.
You'll be number one.
Feel like the coolest. Say it loud, say it proud. Be yourself and stand out from the crowd. Don't forget
the golden rule.
Be yourself and you'll be cool.
Right. Okay. The golden rule is don't bring your fucking dog to the restaurant because other people there don't want your dog at the restaurant. That's a golden rule.
I thought that was a travertine rule.
Yes, you being the terrazzo. You being the different. That's all right. They make Kyle out of travertine. You're all right, but this terrazzo, I get it.
I love that
this message is the golden rule is not this. This gets people to bring their fucking dog because it's you and everyone in the restaurant, everyone in the airport is going to know you're the coolest. Because you do what you want. You do what you want. That's the golden rule. This is the opposite of golden rule.
All the visuals in there. I can't imagine a kid coming home from school and being like, I got bullied again because all I do is read and do my homework. And then this cartoon is like, don't worry. All you have to do is read and do your homework.
Yeah.
And then you'll be
Everyone
cool.
will know you're the coolest. Everyone. Now, I'm trying to work the math out.
They should just replace
this everybody?
The lyrics. Yeah, they replace the lyrics. You'll be the coolest with you'll get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
Everything would make perfect sense.
But what I'm trying to explain, what I've been trying to explain to everyone for a long time, it's just one person wins the fucking lottery. 2 billion people buy a ticket. One person wins. If everyone's a winner, then all everyone gets is their dollar back. There is no winner.
And the song is You're the Richest.
Right. Everyone will know if everyone's the coolest, then nobody's the coolest. You understand? Your message is not for one person. They're not going, hey, Brett, we wrote a song for you. They're writing it for everyone. So where's the audience? You know what I mean? They're over there being the coolest. Who's cheering you on? They're the coolest.
This goes back from the tweet from earlier, which is this message of don't worry, you don't have to do anything.
Right. Yeah. How dare somebody tell you to study or to work hard or to fucking excel? All right. Anyway, sorry. Where do we go? What's the next
some more
story?
news. A fight broke out during a House subcommittee meeting when Republican Keith Self deliberately misgendered Delaware Representative Sara McBride, the first transgender congresswoman.
Sara McBride.
It's a name.
Didn't even pick up on it. She had her paper in front of her, and I've done these kind of things where, like, you got 5 minutes and you got your paper in front of you, and if they go, we now like to call to attention Adam douchebag, you have 5 minutes, I'd go, oh, thank you, and I'd just start reading it.
Rattle it off.
She didn't hear it. Like, listen to her. Now, the thing that's comical about this is the old guy who doesn't give a fuck about the trans community, or unless he never did because he's never brought it up because he's 70 years old and he never heard about it until he was 61. This guy seems overly concerned. Sara McBride, or he, she, whatever the fuck, is just moving ahead with this one.
I now recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat your introduction?
She hit him back.
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
She hit him back with, thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah.
Since he misgendered her, she came back and misgendered. I think it was pretty
that's good.
That's the first time I heard that. Yeah.
Turnabout is fair play.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I was confused because there was a woman. Was there a woman there somewhere?
No, that guy, and then immediately the other guy addresses him as Mr. Chairman. What you did is unacceptable.
Okay, play it out. Yeah.
And she said, thank you, Madam
I thought
Chair.
the person on the right had long hair or something, and she was addressing
Gonna run it back.
I now
All right,
recognize
pause
the...
it. There is a chick on the right, though, right?
But that's
I know everyone yelled no, but there's a chick on the right. No.
That's not the chairperson.
Oh, I get it, but just go along with me not being insane.
Sure.
I thought that the person on the right could be the chairperson, and the other person just called them to whatever. That's why. It was feasible in my mind. But go ahead, play it out.
I now recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes, we have set the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply...
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman?
I love this person.
Would you repeat what you just said?
I love
You
righteous
introduced
indignation.
a duly elected representative from the United States of America. Please.
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order.
Call a dude
Mr. Chairman, have you no decency? I mean, I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
You're calling a dude a dude.
You will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
This hearing is adjourned.
They ended
You douche. Oh, God. And by the way, you know what I like about these guys? They made it to the age of 70 without ever uttering a word about this subject. So are they that passionate about it? Really?
Here's something else that's interesting is McBride took her time, whatever, and said, okay, I'm going to call you madam.
Yeah.
And
it was over.
He's not screaming.
Yeah.
Sticks and stones. We're all good. Moving on.
He was mad. It stung him.
It went both ways.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah, I agree.
Call it fair, ref. Call it both ways.
Just traded jabs. Now, then we're moving on.
Now we're moving on. Committee, go.
I can't take anyone seriously in a room that had a painting of an old man with his poodle. Did you see that? That's what I was looking at the whole time.
Saw that
Look
dude.
at that right there.
I saw that dude at the Delta terminal at LAX last time I was traveling. I know that dude. Same dog. Slipped in that dog shit.
What is happening?
What is going on?
Is that Sir Anthony Hopkins? Oh,
There's an old guy, a painting of an old guy with a poodle on his lap and a map of North America behind it.
Carolla in the background.
And I'm going to go with Kennedy on the wall, but thank you for the comparison.
That definitely wasn't like the artist's plan. That seems like that guy was like, hold on, I have a good idea.
Also, when it comes to, that's a painting, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to paintings, if you're painting someone in their office and there's a painting behind them, are you compelled to paint the painting? Yes. I would say more wallboard. Who's going to get suspicious? You know what I mean? Like if everyone come upon a painting and go, this is suspicious here. Why no picture behind the painting? Why there's no painting of a painting? And now you're painting a painting or you're painting a picture, but it seems like extra work and it draws focus. Because now I'm trying to figure out who that guy, that's Kennedy, right? All right, so yes, it cannot be taken seriously. But the person, to everyone's point, is the guy is grandstanding because if he doesn't care, then why do you care more than she unless you're grandstanding?
A trans lady's pretty tough. Like, if you are determined to wear a dress and be a woman, then she's going to stand up to this kind of thing.
Right. So we're now living in a society with a bunch of non-gay or non-trans or non-black or non-Hispanic or non-whatever people taking greater offense to things than the actual people who they've decided were slighted. Which means they're grandstanding. Because the protocol is like, hey, man, he just called you dude. Yeah, I know. I got to get on with this. Oh, okay. Moving on. If the person's, where's the victim if the victim isn't a victim?
It's so performative, too. It's almost like he was anticipating, like he'd been rehearsing this in the bathroom.
Yeah.
You're out of order. It sounds like he's like a bad script.
One more time, because it is performative.
And then listen to the other guy, because he's so, none of them are used to conflict, because he says, meaning adjourned.
Exactly, yeah.
I would be the worst politicians ever because I got this thing, I don't know. I sit next to people that are like on the phone too long or talking in a way that's too much. Like, you know how women do this thing where they'll call and they'll go, what time you open till? 5 o'clock. Oh, it's 5:30 now. And you go, okay, let's go find the next place. They go, because I figured you guys would be open longer because, I just do this thing. I go, here we go. Like, okay, they're close. We're moving. Here we go. That's all I'd be doing is if you're like, sure, you can't, you missed it. Okay, here we go. I'd just be saying, okay, here we go. What the fuck are we here for? What are we doing? None of us are getting younger. We're arguing over this chick with a dick. Let's just go. Here we go. Here we go now.
I ordered a hamburger at In-N-Out one time, and I said, just no onions. And she goes, it doesn't come with onions. And I was like, well, then you didn't have to say anything.
Right. Yeah, not even a knowing nod.
Yeah,
you were good. Yeah, there's a lot of extra. But here's what I'm saying. Here's how you know these people don't do anything. Because real people who have real jobs, who have real meetings, have to go, look, we're all just going to sit down here and we're going to figure out this wiring harness because the electricians are coming in tomorrow and we need to figure out this wiring harness. And then you go, I don't like what you called me. And everyone just gets up and leaves. Like, you'd go, hello? The electricians are going to be here at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Now, if we don't fucking figure this out right now, we're going to be fucked. That's for people who do shit. For people who don't do any shit, they go, what'd you make fun of? You didn't say I had a cock and balls? I'm out.
Meeting
adjourned. What meeting?
Can you imagine the president coming into the House of Representatives on a Monday? Like, so did you pass that bill? And one of the congressmen was like, well, we're not really speaking right now.
Oh, no, it's probably some guy being held hostage in Gaza. They're going to talk about getting out. But it's like, well, fuck that. We're leaving. Okay, so what meeting? Well, I want to know, Dawson, do we even know what this meeting was about? Because there wasn't a sense of urgency.
Yeah, no, hold on.
All right, I want to hear it one more time anyway, just because it's funny.
I now recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
We have set the standard on the floor of the House.
Okay, here we go, people. Here we go.
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman?
Okay, here we go.
Would you repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America?
Here we go. Let's go.
I will.
Okay.
The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order.
Here we go now.
Mr. Chairman, have you no decency?
Come on.
I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this.
You will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
All right, here we go now. Let's do this.
This hearing is adjourned.
Okay. All right.
And he slams his trapper keeper.
It's nice when you don't have anything to really do except for pretend to work that you can just do this.
Just stop working.
You can't do it in real jobs where shit needs to be figured out, though. Yes.
That was a House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee meeting.
Oh, okay. Important. Or not. Okay. All right, let's just do a fucking Zoom call next time, would you assholes? All right. Sorry, what do we got?
One more news story here. Gavin Newsom has been blasted for secretly paying for his own monument at San Francisco City Hall to commemorate his time as mayor. Yeah, the California governor is considered a contender to run for president 2028 after his time as a surrogate for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, despite his liberal Golden State record. Newsom has even attempted to reach out to conservatives by launching a podcast. He's interviewed Charlie Kirk and Michael Savage. New book, however, threatens to undo Newsom's image rehabilitation by claiming he'd pay to honor himself at San Francisco City Hall.
Have you seen the new podcast, Pretending to be Normal with Gavin Newsom?
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome. I just love, I love the premise, which is, hey, Democrats, we have to pretend to be sane so that people will vote for us, and then we can go back to whatever the fuck we were doing that ruined California and San Francisco. But for now, just for a minute, like what it is you're a pathological serial killer, but you're going to come up in front of the parolee board. So put on a cardigan and talk nice. Don't worry. Once we get on the street, we'll start stabbing people again. But we just got to get through the parole board thing here. So we have to pretend to be sane for this period of time. You know what's weird about Gavin Newsom? Like he wants to bring people on and like debate them. If you live in California, if you spent time in LA, if you spent time in San Francisco, you can debate till you're blue in the face. The place is a piece of shit. There's homeless people everywhere. There's garbage everywhere. He has these nuanced arguments like, yes, California is the highest taxed, but we don't tax the most. It's like, okay, fair argument, Gavin. These other folks rape dry. You use lube when you rape. Okay. That's a feather in your cap, Gavin.
Here's a look at the bust. How much would you say that would be worth to you?
Oh my God. Is it bronze?
Yeah, I think it's bronze. So take that into consideration. How much would this cost?
I know a lot about smelting bronze.
All right.
And I come from a long line of sculptors.
Yeah.
You can tell by my vocabulary.
It's true.
So I'm going to say $41,000.
I'm sorry, it's $97,000.
Oh, my dad could have done this bus for under 50. No problemo. No problemo.
I think this pose, it's between bites at a restaurant during COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
I think it's wild that this even exists already. Like, how many aren't most sculptures like supposed to be like posthumous? Like, how was Lincoln like, I guess my dues for
he's looking
statue of me.
He's looking more as like NFL Hall of Fame bust, you know what I mean? Art Shell was still alive, when he went in to Canton, I think it's that vibe. He's going to have his son hand him the gold jacket, and do his acceptance speech. Yeah. He has a sociopathic, narcissistic disorder that people don't understand, but we're weird in that you meet a lot of people and they're like, oh, yeah, I love DJ Khaled. And you're like, wow, you love DJ Khaled. I love that guy. You're like, you don't see the narcissistic, like, sociopath that I see. And they go, no, I like that guy. And I go, oh, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Because you're your skin should crawl when you think about Gavin Newsom, but yet everyone in California just votes for him, which is it must be them just voting the ticket. I don't know. I've never heard anyone defend him or Karen Bass or anybody. They just go, I'm a Democrat.
Would you go on his podcast to argue with them?
I would. And he's come a long way since my podcast, and he's working his tricks. The number one thing you'll see him do is, and all politicians do this, when the person brings something up and they just talk over them the entire time, that's an admission of guilt. So if somebody said, if you're doing a podcast and you cheated on your wife and somebody brought it up, you'd start going, oh, yeah, okay, all right, okay, all right, okay, I don't know about that. What about you? Okay. If you never cheated on your wife and never came close to cheating on your wife and somebody brought it up, you'd go, all right, really? Tell me about it. Sure. Tell me where it was. Tell me who it was with. Tell me all about it. Because I want to hear this. And then you would just lean back. But when you start going, okay, all right, okay. And then it's like, oh, you fucking did it.
Yeah.
You can see them do it all the time. So when he knows he's fucked, and he's always fucked because he's run California into the ground, he'll just start talking over the person. So I wouldn't let him do that. And also, you have to talk about what you're talking about. Like, you have to explain to him, you can talk over me, and then I'll wait, and then you'll let me state this. And then when he tries to change the subject or do whatever it is, you got to be relentless.
You know, it's funny. I grew up, my parents would listen to like Sean Hannity, and he had this specific move where, and I don't have an opinion either way, but I thought it was so funny. I like the show Hannity and Combs. You remember they would sort of debate back and forth, and you get both of the issues. Like, so it wasn't just like attacking a guest; it was like fairly balanced between the two of them. But Hannity would sometimes end his segments because he knew a commercial break was coming up. He would say his side of things and then just go checkmate, and boom, it would go to commercial. Like, you don't get to say checkmate yourself, like, in post that
halfway into the
and
game.
I win. Now go to the commercial.
That's what I'm going to do if Newsom calls me back. I don't think he's going to. I don't know.
He looks like a villain from a Christopher Nolan movie.
I would love to see it. You know what I mean? It would be very interesting.
I like to see it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's such a fucking idiot. Look, it's not fair. There's something wrong with him. That's all I'm saying. He doesn't understand what he's doing. But what he doesn't understand is he's damaging a lot of people under some guise of, what these people don't understand is they're like, what's wrong with defunding the police? It's like, you're fucking getting people killed. That's what's wrong with defunding the police. Like, you're hurting people. And I don't think they really get that part. But I mean, Dawson, that's all we're doing is the Wayback Machine. But his homeless thing with me, I mean, how could you possibly deal with somebody like Gavin Newsom, who was in here 10, 12 years ago? But he told me that he told me two things. He told me his number one problem and subject, like what he was here to do is to fix the homeless problem. He told me that's his number one thing.
12 years ago?
Number one, homeless. That's his subject, he told me. And then went on to explain that it was about mothers of two who had full-time jobs, who were divorced, who were getting minimum wage with their full-time job as the problem. And then I explained to him that it was drug addicts and mental patients, and he said that's not the real picture. Now, either he's severely retarded or he's a sociopath or he's something, but he's not the guy you want to fix the homeless problem, because it'd be like if I was I said, look, I'm a structural engineer. I'm going to show up and look at your bridge. You got a trestle bridge and it's sagging and it looked like it might come down, and I'd go, because it's haunted. And you'd go, no, we need to build some moments and get some steel in here and some I-beams. No, I'm going with haunted. Okay, fine, but I'm not the guy to fix the bridge. How could I fix the bridge? I misidentified the problem with the bridge, right? So how could you fix homeless if you think it's mothers who are working full time, who are divorced, and not drug addicts? How could you fix this?
He likes to sort for the small things.
So then, his thing is, well, then we'll get Taco Bell to give everyone $50 an hour. Okay, but that's not who's homeless. That mother who got divorced is sleeping on her sister's sofa.
Yeah.
Newsom just needs to understand that if he would just be himself, we would know he's the coolest.
Yes.
Then I'll vote for him.
All right, if we have that clip, we'll play it. If not, you can put it on the screen if you have it, whoever's in charge of the screen. But if you don't, then we'll move it along. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Byron said it's on the screen.
Oh. Not my screen. Not the little screen.
Okay.
I'll just put the prompter on it. Okay, here we go. Oh, there it is. All right, here we go. This notion of like the guy's a hardworking, God-fearing family member who lost his job and now had to take to the streets is total and utter bullshit.
Yeah, but what about the picture of real homelessness, which is a poor mom?
The picture of real homelessness. So he's going to coach me up. I told him the hardworking guy who lost his job and sleeping on the street is bullshit. That's not a real thing. That's what they sell you. The factory closed down. Who are you, fucking John Cougar Mellencamp here? The fucking mill closed down. Now you're asleep. Nobody sleeps on the sidewalk unless you're a junkie. Everyone that's had jobs end. And then you figure it out. You get another job. You have a resume. Or, God forbid, you just fucking sleep in someone's spare bedroom or something on a futon for a few months till you get your shit together. It happens all the time. I just got my house burnt down. I just left. I went somewhere and slept somewhere. I didn't sleep on the floor, on the ground, under the freeway overpass. But Newsom knows. He knows. So let's hear what he has to say. This notion of like the guy's a hardworking, God-fearing family member who lost his job and now had to take to the streets is total and utter bullshit.
Yeah, but what about the picture of real homelessness, which is a poor mom with 2 kids with a husband who took off and left her, who's sitting there struggling on that minimum wage job, and all of a sudden now is out in the streets and sidewalks desperately trying to find some help, get her life back, can't get those kids into child care.
I think that's what happened to
Can't
Jewel.
afford them. That's the tough thing.
Yeah, that's
and
tough.
That's a picture of family homelessness in this country.
That's a postage stamp.
No,
the real picture is bigger than the AIDS quilt, and those are crazy junkies.
Yeah, but no. So what? No,
yeah, but no. I mean, he's going to challenge me. He's going to challenge me. Everybody, he's going to challenge me. I said the real picture. That's a postage stamp. The real picture's bigger than the AIDS. Yeah, no. No to what? No to what? You insane sociopath. No to what? This is his number one issue. Everybody, moms with jobs, whose husband left. By the way, we're in California. If your fucking husband left, you're gonna fucking own the house you guys bought together. Believe you fucking me.
Yeah.
Just one more time. Listen to him yelling no into the mic. This notion of like the guy's a hardworking, God-fearing family member who lost his job and now had to take to the streets is total and utter bullshit.
Yeah, but what about the picture of real homelessness, which is a poor mom with 2 kids with a husband who took off and left her, who's sitting there struggling on that minimum wage job, and all of a sudden now is out in the streets and sidewalks desperately trying to find some help, get her life back, can't get those kids into child care.
I think that's what happened to
Can't
Jewel.
afford them.
That's
the tough thing.
Yeah, that's
and
tough.
That's a picture of family homelessness.
That's a postage stamp.
No,
the real picture is bigger than the AIDS quilt, and those are crazy junkies.
Yeah, but no. So see, I will challenge you on this. What you're talking about is chronic homeless, which is the picture we have of homeless.
All right,
which is
but see, I mean,
he's challenging me. Challenge me on what?
Well, he has no stats to back it up, and I just know that, like, if I take my family to maybe a seedier part of town to go to a restaurant or anything, I don't have my kids huddle around me. I never say, like, careful, there's a lot of moms out here.
Yeah. With full-time. Many of them are at their full-time jobs right now, but the moms and the kids.
You gotta watch out.
You gotta watch out for the moms. Okay. Yeah. Something's wrong with the person. Something's wrong with Gavin Newsom. I don't know how else to describe it. By the way, if he has me on his podcast, I'm showing up with this tape. And we're going to go over a lot of this stuff. So, Gavin, I know you're fucking world-class pussy, but if you want If you want the fight that everyone wants, that's me.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what the people want. I'm the people's champion. You're the people's retard. If I show up, I'm bringing this tape, and we're going to break it down. And you can talk all the fuck you want, but we're going to listen to your brain as it pertains to homelessness, as it pertains to the black and Hispanic community. We're going to break down the game film. Now, he doesn't want to do that. How is he going to defend this? It's all junkies.
Yeah.
And by the way, the mom who's out of work, I don't care about her. She's somewhere. She's not slamming drugs and chasing people around with a machete down at Venice Beach. She's somewhere working.
Yeah.
God, he's such a fucking idiot. Ooh, we have the promo, Gavin Newsom podcast. All right.
Sick.
Give it a pro. Give it a shot.
We need to change the conversation. And that's why I'm launching a new podcast. And this is going to be anything but the ordinary politician podcast. I'm going to be talking to people directly that I disagree with, as well as people I look up to. But more important than anything else, I'll be talking directly with you, the listener. Real conversations. What's going on with the cost of eggs? What are the real impacts to you around tariffs? What power does an executive order really have? And what's really going on?
That's good. You want to talk about sexy subjects? What's going on with eggs, bro? I don't know. Are they $8? Are they $4? I don't fucking know.
He's a guy who wouldn't.
By the way, eggs. If eggs were $22 a carton, they would still be worth it. Like, it's the healthiest thing you can eat. 2 of them. That's breakfast and lunch. I mean, you're good. You know, it's like a perfect food. If somebody said, look, there's a dozen eggs, right? Yeah. We're used to paying 26 cents an egg. Okay. Now we're paying 39 cents an egg. I'm not outraged. Yeah. I still think it's pretty good. Yeah. It's pretty good for an egg. All right. So under your math, that's 40 cents an egg. I have 2 eggs. That's 80 cents. I think I'm okay with that. I think I could cover. Hun, can we cover 80 cents for breakfast? Yeah, okay, yeah. I think we got it. We don't have to go into our savings.
It's so condescending and elitist, too, for him to build up that whole teaser of his podcast to be like, what
about eggs?
How about cabbage?
Talk to you.
What about a head of cabbage?
The real issues. Brunch is getting pricey, am I right?
Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to go over easy on any of these subjects. I'll scramble your brain, bro. What are eggs? All I hear is fucking eggs. Eggs are $7 or $9?
$5 now.
Okay, $5. Okay, you bought a carton of eggs?
Yes.
Okay, it's $5. $5 is 40 cents an egg, or 41 and a half cents an egg, or something, right?
Yeah.
What's 41 and a half? 4 times 12, 48. Oh, sorry, that's 48. No, it's under 48, and then it's 2. If there's a penny, hold on. 48. Oh, 20. Yeah, it's 41.3 cents an egg. Is it not? What is it? Someone's gonna have to get their phone out. But
and it's all just a distraction.
$5 into 12. 5 into 12. Sorry, or 12 into 5, or whatever it is. It's 41.3 cents or something. I don't know. Someone will do it. Yes.
Well, it's just a distraction because if you wanted to talk about real issues, you could talk about how a small business, when they want to start a C Corp, you have to pay $800 a year in California, but in Utah, it's $65.
Right.
Could we talk about that?
Yeah, but what about the eggs?
That seems like a multiplier worth talking
about.
What
about the eggs? All right, so it's 40 cents an egg. Or what is it? Sorry.
41.6.
Oh, I was way off my 41.3. But anyway, D- student. Anyway, the point is this. It's under 42 cents an egg. I don't call that outrageous for what has been described to me by some nutritionists as the perfect food. Egg. They said it has it all.
It's what's for
right
dinner.
there. And you just do 2 of those, and now you're up to a grand total of 83.5 cents. But we're still under $1, people. In a world where a pack of cigarettes is like $14 and a gallon of gas is $5.50, I think we do the egg for 40 cents. I don't know. It's not weighing I'm rich, so maybe I'm out of it, but it's not weighing heavily on my mind.
No, and if you look at somebody like the average family's monthly grocery budget, it means now instead of $770, it's $783.
Right.
It's insane.
Right. Right. All right, Kellen, let's give you a plug. You got dates all over the place. Playing, the aforementioned Sunken Bus.
Yeah.
But dates. And you go to the website, right?
Yep, kellenerskine.com. And you
find
can
out
all
we're
that.
all...
I'm going to be in Ohio and Bakersfield coming up. Yeah.
All the garden spots of the world. Ohio, Bakersfield. If there's an azure sea and a beautiful woman, Kellen's going to be there.
It's an agricultural tour. And then my podcast, The Book Pile.
I will be doing stand-up in Phoenix tomorrow and then Saturday and Sunday. Early shows sold out, but late shows got some tickets left, so you can check that out. I think Sunday's not sold out yet. Just go to AdamCarolla.com for all the live shows. Until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Kellen Erskine and Mayhem saying, Mahala.